Welcome to Revealing the Narc. Join me as I highlight narcissistic traits in celebrities and public figures. Everything here is in my opinion and not professional advice. If you enjoy the analysis, please like and subscribe. What I want to do today is go through a video clip of the Fab Four at the Royal Foundation, their very first event together in February of 2018. This event included Prince Harry, Prince William, Princess Catherine, and Meghan. This was about 3 months before their wedding. There are a lot of sections within this video that highlight Meghan's lack of collaborative desires. And so what I'll do is I'll show you the clip, and then we'll go through tiny segments of the clip, and I'll discuss what my opinion is about them. And I have a feeling as I was brainstorming this video that this ties in a lot with my own childhood. So I will share the reason why this particular topic is interesting to me. I'm going to preface the video by saying that a few seconds before the clip started, Princess Catherine is talking about the need of support in the field of mental health, and particularly in matters of addiction and child vulnerabilities.
It's something that I felt very passionate about. It's obviously such a huge topic. It wasn't as big as I actually thought it was, but it was something that I think all three of us at the time felt that we really could make a far bigger impact together on, rather than just one of us acting alone on it.
My takeaway from this is Meghan looks uncomfortable, and I've mentioned in another video previously, but in my opinion, Meghan is not a collaborator, she is a competitor. In order to be a collaborator, you need to be okay with sharing the spotlight with other people and working with other people. Meghan, in my opinion, is not able to do that. She needs to be the center of attention. She needs to take home the glory. And in order for her to take home the glory, she needs to be the one that's primarily or completely responsible for the wins that are occurring. I want to mention that this is also a dynamic that, in my opinion, is happening in her marriage. She believes that she should be on the same level as Harry. In fact, I think she believes she's better than Harry. And this is a harsh reality that's setting in for her right now, that, they're not on a level playing field, the two of them. It's just not how it is. Okay, so let's analyze a couple of clips.
It's something that I felt very passionate about. It's obviously such a huge topic. It wasn't as big as I actually thought it was, but
The beginning part of this clip, I think it's very difficult to come to any conclusions about Meghan's facial expression, looking at that clip in particular. But if you see how animated and how excited she is when she's the one talking compared to when she's not the one talking, that's very evident in this clip. I think she's looking at Princess Catherine with extreme intensity. I would feel uncomfortable if someone was looking at me with that intensity. I'm curious to know if you all see that also. But the last thing I do notice is that when Princess Catherine admits a type of weakness, or that she didn't recognize that it would be such a big topic, there's this really weird smile that Meghan has. It looks really disingenuous. Like I really don't know what's going on in her head during that smile. And I don't think it's something that she's thinking positively about Princess Catherine. You all let me know what you think, though. Please drop it in the comments.
but it was something that I think all three of us at the time.
This is the part of the video that really gets to me. And this is based on my own personal experience, okay? Like, I have lived through this, so just remember that that's my perspective. Okay, so Meghan did not like that statement. Meghan did not like any conversation about Harry having a life before he met Meghan. And I bring that up. The reason that I think that's so important to me is because that's how my stepmom was. And to people that haven't heard me before, my stepmom is a malignant narcissist. She did all sorts of, if you think of that A word that I don't know if I'm allowed to say, she did all of them. Okay, I don't want to get into details, but you can imagine that it was a really horrible experience. A lot of her anger, though, that was directed towards me had to do with the fact that I even existed. She did not like that my dad had a past before they met. She hated it, and I think part of it was that there is this competition that exists. She felt like she was in competition with me, but I'll start getting into and unpacking that towards the end of the video. Let's get into the next part of this clip.
We really could make a far bigger impact together rather than just one of us acting alone on it.
Oh, wow. So did you all see that? She does not like this idea of working together and working as a team. Her jaw is clenched. She looks down. She has that fake smile again. She does not like it. And in my opinion, I think it's because just in her nature, she's not a collaborator. She's a competitor. So assuming that Meghan Markle is a narcissist, in my opinion, let's talk about a couple of reasons why this might be. The first is there is potentially this need for superiority. So working in a collaborative environment where ideas are meant to be equally valued and contributions are shared, they often feel threatened. They prefer situations where they can shine individually rather than work alongside others who might share the spotlight. Also, when they see other people succeeding, this could be a personal threat. And I mean, if you look at the dynamic between Harry and Meghan right now, I believe she probably feels that it's a threat to her. It's a threat to her because Harry, according to the tabloids and the mainstream media, Harry is doing a great job and he's really popular. Narcissists also typically have low levels of empathy, and that is so important to be able to collaborate successfully because collaborating requires that people understand each other, that they compromise, that they value other people's ideas and perspectives, and none of these appeal to narcissistic personalities. Narcissists also have this need for control and autonomy, and working in a collaborative team where you are listening to everyone's opinion, decision making is shared. This can be frustrating because of the desire to dominate. They often fear that sharing control will weaken their own authority or lessen their influence. Narcissists also, on the outside, they look like they have a lot of self-esteem and they're very confident, but on the inside, on a subconscious level, they do not. So they get validation from outshining others. So when they outperform or outshine their peers, this makes them feel really good about themselves. In a collaborative scenario where everyone contributes equally, there's less of an opportunity to stand out, and it makes it difficult for them to feel uniquely valued or superior. And in fact, if we think about their trip to Australia in 2019, where the goal of the family, the royal family, is to work collaboratively and to really reach all the people and do the greatest good. When they came back, when Prince Harry and Meghan came back, they had these inflated egos because they believed that they outperformed and they outshined everyone. And I think it was this bias that they had, these thoughts that they had, that led to the rapid Megxit that happened soon after. There may also be this underlying inability to trust other people. They feel that others may try to undermine them. This suspicion makes collaboration feel risky because they worry that the people they're working with may take advantage of them or to steal the credit. By maintaining like a competitive place, they believe they're protecting their own interests, avoiding the vulnerability that comes with teamwork and sharing goals. While doing research on this topic, I came across this phrase that I hadn't heard before, but that it makes complete sense. And it's this term called zero-sum thinking. So narcissists often work with this zero-sum mindset, which means that they believe that someone's success means another's failure. Collaboration, which relies on a give and take approach, is hard for them because they see that sharing credit or resources is them losing out on something. So they interpret collaboration as a competition, and they believe that if others are doing well, it must mean they are doing worse by comparison. This is so interesting. Please let me know in the comments if you've heard about this. This was definitely the first time I had a term that describes it, even though I've definitely experienced it in life, in professional environments. Okay, so the next thing I want to talk about is the one that I feel like really drew me to this video, is about narcissists and hearing about their partner's past. And as I was doing research, I found out that this is because it challenges their need for control, validation, and a sense of superiority. So there are a couple of reasons that this would happen. The first is they could feel threatened to control and to be exclusive to their partner. So they want to be the center of their partner's world. When they hear about past relationships or past experiences, this challenges them of that, reminding them that the partner had a history that existed independently of them. This makes them feel threatened by the emotional connections or meaningful experiences that the partner would have had previously, and they interpret this as a loss of control over their partner's feelings and focus. There may also be this jealousy and comparison that's happening when they hear about their partner's past relationships or past experiences. This can cause them to feel inadequate or jealous, and it can trigger these feelings because it feels as if they're being compared to someone else's past, even if that's not the case. They want to be perceived as the best and only choice. There's also a need to feel superior. They want to feel unique in their partner's lives, and by acknowledging past relationships, this makes them feel less special or exclusive. And actually, I think this ties in a lot hand in hand with like the love bombing stage, because the goal of love bombing, as I've experienced it, is to make it seem like this is the most unique experience ever. No one in the history of the world has ever had love like this. And so hearing about this existence and past that occurred prior to their meeting is almost a threat to the image that they started the relationship out with. There could also be this fear of attachment or the bond of their partner to other people. They might see this as a threat, fearing that it somehow diminishes the partner's current attachment to them. So by avoiding talking of the past, they try to minimize any acknowledgement that their partner may still feel sentimental or have lingering memories of past people or experiences. The other two that I'm going to talk about now, these will be the last two, and I think these are the ones that apply in my relationship, or at least the dynamic of the relationship between my stepmom and my dad. So narcissists, they view their partners as extensions of themselves or possessions rather than independent people that have their own history or identity. When they hear about the past, it disrupts this sense of ownership that the narcissists feel they have over their partner. This possessiveness makes them want to erase or minimize anything in the partner's life that they didn't directly control, especially people or experiences from the past. You guys, you have no idea how much this hits home. This is exactly what my stepmom tried to do in my relationship with my dad. And in fact, like pretty much as soon as my dad and her got married, my stepmom created this really stupid reason for creating a problem between my dad and I. And it is so stupid that I don't even know if I should say it on the channel because it's not true, and it's so infuriating when I think about it. But basically, okay, I'm just going to say it to explain it. Basically, my stepmom accused my dad of inappropriate relations with me as a child. Okay, and that is not true at all. And because of that, she didn't want me around. It doesn't make any sense though, because if someone believes that, why are they in a relationship with that partner? This was a lie that she created in order to isolate my dad from me. And she just didn't want me in the picture. She wanted to erase my existence. And unfortunately, in my case, it kind of worked because after like I was 13 years old or so, my relationship with my dad was it was digital. It was on the phone. It wasn't in person. Like, I didn't spend Christmases with my dad. I didn't spend holidays with my dad. My dad rarely came to any of my graduating events because she really did erase me from his life. In fact, when I went to my dad's funeral, people had no idea who I was. I mean, it's like so shocking to me that, like, really, this is the monster that we're dealing with, this malignant narcissism. This is the type of character that Meghan has. And this is why it is so dangerous for her to be around children that she perceives as threats. It's seriously, it's incredibly dangerous. Like, there is such an importance we need to put on this. Like, I think when you have children and you're being romantically involved with people, really, really watch their behavior, because they can ruin lives. Like, completely, like, they can have such a, gosh, I'm getting so not emotional talking about it, but like the words are just coming out and I'm not like able to control them, because I've lived it and I've experienced it, and it's so awful. If any of you have any experiences like this and you feel comfortable sharing it, please go ahead and leave it in the comments. And I'm sorry if I got too personal, but I think it's really important for you all to see where I'm coming from. That although I'm not a therapist. I don't claim to be an expert in narcissism, but I have lived it. I have seen how they act, from my stepmom dominating the majority of my childhood, and all throughout my adulthood as well. And then I was married to one for over 10 years. So I've had one in should have been a parental type of relationship, and then I've had one in a romantic relationship. So I've seen it all, okay? And I think maybe that's the perspective. Like, when I look at Meghan, I can see my stepmom, I can see my ex-husband, like it's all rolled and mixed into one. Okay, and finally, I'm going to get to the last point that I was going to make. I think there's also this insecurity about their place in the relationship. So I think narcissists often feel insecure about their role in the partner's life. So they feel that they need this constant validation that they're enough, and that they're in some way they're irreplaceable. So when they hear about past loves or deep connections or friendships or past positive experiences, this can make them feel less secure, because it reminds them that the partner that they connect so deeply could have connected with other people before. So I think that's also a major player of what might be going on here. Anyways, I'm going to end the video here. This one might have been a little bit heavy, but I think it gave you guys a lot of insight into where I'm coming from as well, which I think is really important. If this was interesting to you, please like and subscribe. If you think there's anybody that could benefit from this video, please share it with them. I feel a lot of times when we're under the spell of a narcissist, no matter what the relationship is to the narcissist, it's so hard to see things clearly. It takes either removing yourself from the situation and looking at it from the outside, or having someone else tell you, like, these are not healthy behaviors, before you're able to see it. So with that, I'm going to end the video now. I don't remember if I said it, but if this was interesting, like and subscribe, and I will talk to you all soon. Goodbye.